Okay, so everybody knows that after my 21 days of meatless eating, I kind of decided I'm gonna do a few more meatless dishes, and maybe even give vegetarian a try. Not vegan, but vegetarian. So I got this cool book that's got some recipes, and today is, I'm gonna call it Fun Food Friday, and we're gonna try one of the recipes in the book. And this is spiced eggplant stuffed peppers. And I love green peppers and I love stuffed peppers. Never had an eggplant before, so we're going to definitely be trying something new. So I got my little ingredients and I'm getting ready to go into Sprouts. And we're going to try to find these ingredients. And that's what I hate about cooking new recipes, because a lot of times you can't find, you don't even know where to look, where in the store it even supposed to be. But hopefully I'll find all these ingredients for the spice. Anyway, we're going in here. We're going to try this recipe tonight for Fun Food Friday. And like I said, we're going into Sprouts to get the ingredients. And maybe tonight we'll try the video while we're cooking it. And we'll let you know how good it is. And maybe every Friday, every other Friday, we'll try to do a plant-based recipe and say yay or nay. How about that? Okay, we'll see you in a little bit. No pico? Well, we hadn't had pico in a while. Guess we're just gonna have to. No, I'm pretty sure they will be here with the onions and stuff. Just, they out. Okay, so now we need to go try to find those peeled tomatoes and some spice called coriander or something. Well, I think we got everything. Let's go and cook. Well, welcome back to our channel, Woodruff Family Wisdom, where all things pertain to life and godliness. And thanks again for joining us. And don't forget to like and subscribe and to click that notification bell so you can receive all the notifications every time we release a new video. And as you can see from the beginning of this video, I shared about me going on a 21-day meatless diet. And based on my experience with that, I decided to look a little closer into the vegetarian diet. And you can see my pros and cons. I made a video with pros and cons from going meatless for 21 days. And I'll drop that link in the description. And you can see the pros and cons of going meatless for 21 days. However, today we are attempting to make
spiced eggplant stuffed peppers.
And this is our very first experience with eating eggplant. And so what we're doing here right now, we are just kind of putting together a lot of the ingredients. And both of us are going to be preparing this meal. And what we're going to do is just kind of give you our experience of kind of like yay or nay, or what we would do differently. Because, you know, we always felt like more African Americans would probably eat more plant-based if we can get a different taste or something that's a little more savory. Because, you know, as African Americans really like to season their food, and they always want something that they can put that Louisiana hot sauce on. So, based on our experience with this recipe, we're just going to share what we would do differently. And it does take about 2 hours to create this meal. So we're going to show you the short version, so you'll be going in and out. And as you can see right now, I have chopped some garlic, and I'm getting ready to chop an onion. And what is that you're putting in there, honey?
I think that's the coriander seasoning. Ground coriander.
Well, we're going to kind of look at also the pros and the cons to this recipe, and some of the things that we would do differently. Because one of the pros is the eggplant.
Yes.
Because the eggplant has so many nutrients that it's really good for so many things. And I'll drop those benefits in the description below. And honey, you want to just share just the ingredients?
The ingredients include 2 large eggplants, a 28-ounce can of salted whole peel tomatoes, which we felt like, since we had to chop it up and cube it anyway, might as well get the peeled crushed
tomatoes.
Crushed tomatoes.
And another thing about those tomatoes too, we felt like it could have been the basil and
oregano.
Oregano.
Yeah.
To give it more season and more zest.
Then it had 1 clove garlic minced, 2.5 teaspoons of ground cumin, and 1/4 teaspoon of paprika, and 1/4 teaspoon of ground coriander. With those seasonings, we felt like probably could have doubled them.
Right, and the one thing they didn't add was salt.
Yeah.
And we made the recipe exactly the way they put it here in the book.
Right.
And we would have, at the end, because we had some more things left, it was for 6 peppers. We only made 4.
Right.
So that means we had a lot of ingredients left. And so with the ingredients left, we seasoned it the way we felt like it should have been seasoned.
Yes, and we made it pop. So
it was a good recipe if you don't want a lot of savory, but it's supposed to be spiced. So although it said spiced, it wasn't enough paprika
or cumin or coriander.
Right. So our opinion, it needed to been doubled, and don't forget to add more salt.
Okay, let me continue on, and then I want to say something about one of these ingredients. We had to use a 15-ounce can of chickpeas or garbanzo beans. Now, when we got here, we felt like we should have doubled up on the garbanzo beans, which is the chickpeas, and took away one of the eggplants for the recipe.
Right. And it's hard to probably know what size, because they didn't say medium eggplants, large eggplants. We just got 2.
We had some huge eggplants.
We just had 2 large eggplants. And another thing too, because we're not familiar with cooking eggplants, you know, when you make a potato, if you make a potato salad and you want those chunks, it might say you want the potatoes kind of hard, or they kind of give you the inkling of the texture. Right. But they didn't say whether or not you want to smash the eggplant.
Well, it did say cut coarse. I read that later.
Oh, cut coarse?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you like chunky, and ours was a little chunky, but I would have preferred mine to be smashed into everything else.
Yeah, if I was to do it again, I would cut it thin and cook it in thin pieces so it'd be more manageable, in manageable bites, and then chop it.
Yeah, because they told us to poke it with a fork all the way around,
right,
and then put it in the oven on that rack,
right,
and just cook until soft.
But I'd rather cut it. It's probably cut.
And if we had to peel it anyway.
Right.
So I don't understand why we just couldn't have peeled it at the beginning.
Or cut it in slices.
Or cut it in slices and cut the peelings off. But anyway, if you're gonna peel it anyway, I think they could have made it simpler than just say poke it and put it in the oven. But you know, that's something you may want to experiment with yourself, because we've seen on a lot of other ways where they just kind of slice the eggplant or whatever. And I probably would have boiled mine, or even put some aluminum foil over it to make it a little more soft.
That's the ground cumin I'm putting in. So earlier I said that was coriander, but that's the ground cumin. You did coriander while ago. You showed it.
I probably just picked it up. Yeah, okay.
Ground coriander. Yeah, like I said, everything doubled. It would have been great, but and again, I would have added more of the chickpeas, and probably would have eased up on that eggplant. As far as if you'd have kept the 2 eggplants and added another deal of chickpea, you just would have had so much left over. But I just feel like you need more peas to the recipe.
Right.
And a good source of protein, right?
Yeah, and maybe because we're not that familiar with the eggplant, we less with it is better.
Yeah.
But like I said, if you do like we did, if you do 4 and you have some of your mixture left over, and if you eat it the way the recipe calls for it to be created, if you feel like it needs something more, then you got all the other extra to really experiment with. To add more of your seasoning, because I added oregano, and like I said, basil would have been good. Anytime I eat tomatoes, I like basil and oregano.
Right.
If I eat any type of tomato sauce.
And would this be a good time to tell them what we put in there at the end? Because we sprinkled the phenols in it.
Oh yeah, and also honey added phenols to the other mixture as
Fennel
well.
Seeds.
Fennel seeds. Yeah.
Fennel seeds is what they put in sausages, like Italian sauces and stuff like that. And it really made it pop.
Okay, so this is Honey getting the eggplants out of the oven because they told us to, just poke it with a fork all the way around and put it on the rack. So he's getting them out, and we have to let that cool a little bit. We kind of peeled one already, and so Honey's going to go ahead and open the other one and start peeling. And this is another thing that we wasn't familiar with and that we didn't eat. And we do know people eat the seeds inside of the eggplant, but we removed our seeds because this is my first experience, and it was just so many seeds. And I hope I didn't take away the flavor. And if someone is familiar with eggplants, go ahead and let us know in the description below how you feel about eating the seeds, or is it the flavor of the eggplant? And as you can see right now, I'm kind of chopping it up, and they said to have it kind of coarse.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I would have preferred it to be smashed like a mashed potato, to have that type of texture, and to me it would have fit in the mixture a whole lot better.
Now, to me, it had the texture of the tomato and a little bit of the cooked pepper.
Mm-hmm.
So it all had 3 of the same textures.
Mm-hmm.
So to your point, if we cooked it differently, where it would have been softer or just a little different texture and blended in a little bit better, it's probably been cool. But I think with it marinating in the sauces and everything else, it just kind of blend right in with the tomatoes and everything else.
Well, the next day, as you can see that bowl that we're doing everything in, Honey's doing everything in right now, I just put some aluminum foil over it, and I put it back in the oven, and I let it cook a little longer and got the eggplant a little more to my desired texture.
Yeah.
So I guess everyone has to cook it to their palate.
Right. I enjoyed it. Overall,
I really enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. The next day, once we added the extra seasoning, gave it more spice and more pizzazz, so to speak.
Now, we do have to say that you were doing vegetation, a vegan take on it all.
Right.
I bumped it up a whole nother level. Mm-hmm.
We're not going to say what you did, because that wouldn't be right, because we're trying to stay with a meatless meal here.
Okay, all right.
I think you bumped it up just a little too much. As you can see now, Honey is stuffing the peppers. Another thing too, I think I would have did differently with this meal to really give it a little more taste, is I would have sauteed the onions on top of the stove.
Oh, my.
And I probably would have garnished the peppers with the sauteed onion versus putting the onion in the mix, because I think that would have gave it more flavor.
I think we could have did both. Had the onions in there so it can be like in the soup mixture, because that's some flavor that's coming out into that mixture. But then also put that sauteed on the top. Oh man.
Okay, now we're putting the tops on, and we're gonna place them in the oven for, I think it was another 30 minutes or so. Mm-hmm. And that sauce is like in the bottom of that bowl. Look at us, we're acting silly, because this is Friday night, and it was our date night.
Awesome, it was awesome.
And we really enjoyed it, and it's really a surprise, because if you want to go to our YouTube channel, we do have date night ideas, and to our surprise, this is one of the date night ideas that was a lot of fun, that we didn't think that would be a lot of fun. And that's getting a recipe and cooking together for a date night. And we didn't think it would be all that much fun, but we really, really, really enjoyed working together and cooking this new recipe.
I tell you what, leave a comment below if you want to see us do it again, our style.
Well, we're gonna probably down below, we'll have the original recipe, and we'll also share with you the things that we added to kind of kick it up a notch.
I can't wait to do it again.
So I'm just kind of adding a little sauce inside the peppers.
The peppers did very well. I like the texture of the peppers. Delicious.
Look at that one. It's a little burnt on the top, so it gave it a little extra flavor. To me, I just learned like to burn stuff a little bit. You know, just give it, char, just give it a little extra pizzazz there. And again, don't forget to like and subscribe. And hit that notification bell. Don't that look delicious? And it was good. A little extra sauce for me.
Now excuse us because it is piping hot.
Piping hot. We didn't let it sit and cool off long enough. We was trying to go ahead and sample it. Yum, yum. Okay. Well, our first Fun Food Friday is in the books, and you are kind of hearing our critique on the spiced stuffed eggplant peppers. So how did I say that right?
Spiced eggplant, stuffed peppers.
Stuffed peppers, okay. So again, visit our website, Woodruff Family Wisdom, at ppptime.com for other health and life ideas.
And remember that you are happy, healthy, wealthy, fit, and forgiving. God bless.